1 whole year ago, we posted 3 new videos on this channel, and we decided to post weekly YouTube videos here every single week, teaching you how to grow and scale your motion design business. We thought it was about time to show you a bit behind the scenes of Motion Hatch, how I built this YouTube studio, and also who works with me. So stick around because I'll also be answering your questions and sharing some tips and tricks for your career. So I want to show you around my office / YouTube studio today. So I'm going to show you some of the equipment that's in here. So let's get into it. So we've got this microphone, which is definitely an upgrade from having a podcast mic in the shot. So this is the Rode NTG3B, and the B just stands for black, I think. You can see it's just right in front of the light there. And then the camera's there. When I move my monitor out of the way, then it's out of shot, but it's pretty close to my mouth. So just wanted to quickly show you the Rode Wireless Go 2 just on my cardigan here. Carrying on with this little tour, we have this Godox SL60. Big light with a softbox. And this provides most of the light for the YouTube videos. And before I had this huge light, it definitely didn't look as good. So I would say if you're thinking about recording stuff yourself, think about the lights that you have in your room, because it actually makes a huge difference if you have good light and good sound, because the camera, as you'll see, is not the best camera in the world, and these lights aren't that expensive either actually, but they just really help. So I've got this as my main key light, and then I just have this like super basic ring light as my fill light. So you've got to think about your kind of practical and backlights. So this is an aperture light which provides the green, kind of greeny bluey color, and then we have an aperture bulb in here which is I think a B7C. So these are providing these nice backlights. I also have some plants here. I don't know whether you can tell in the videos, but these are actually fake. I've also got this sign that says remember your why, because I think this is really important to me to think about, you know, why I'm doing something. Like why I started Motion Hatch is to help motion designers with their businesses. And what was quite funny is when Brendan, the editor producer, came over to film the Adobe Max presentation, this was all over the place. I think this Y was like over here or something like that. And he wanted it to all look nice. So I'm just going to leave that Y like that because I'll probably annoy Brendan. So let's continue round. We have like kind of another set over here with a couch. But I don't end up using this that often. I think of this as like my light set. I think the main thing is this is always set up like this. So it's easy to just turn everything on and to film, whereas when I have to film over here in this lighter set, it can be a bit tricky to move everything, and it almost takes a whole day sometimes. Another issue that I have over here is if you look up here, I have a skylight. This is actually a really dark room, but for filming you need to make sure that you're not including any light really, because otherwise what will happen is it will change how the shot looks. So I need to black that out. So I've just got this really rubbish bit of fabric up there right now and bits of cardboard stuck on with masking tape, as you can see. If anyone has suggestions to solve that, I would be very grateful. And then also down here I have a guitar. This is my guitar. I don't actually play guitar in a band, but I play keyboard in a band called Dignam Porch. But this is my guitar. I just like having it here. I don't play very often, but it's just kind of nice. Here's my computer setup that I see every day. So I've got this mini Stream Deck here, which is really handy because it means you can just press buttons and you can do it to any website or anything like that. So then this is the Rodecaster Pro that attaches to my main shotgun mic. If I want, I can mute other people. And I think if I use this little thing here, I can actually record from my iPhone into the Rodecaster Pro, which is what I was doing when I was doing lots of live clubhouses and Twitter spaces and things like that. So I want to show you my Canon M50, which is what I use to film all my videos on currently. It has this super handy screen that pops out so you can see yourself. The lens is a Canon mirrorless 22mm lens, and it's just a really nice pancake lens that works really well in this room because it's not actually that much of a big room, so it really helps when you are trying to film in a smaller room. Here's my cat Elvis. He is the best helper at Motion Hatch, aren't you? It definitely isn't easy releasing a YouTube video, but it all starts with lots of ideas on our marketing content calendar. The process starts with deciding on the topic or idea. We have a huge list of ideas. It can include things like title ideas, topic ideas, and also your comments and questions. And yes, we really do add your comments in there. We have a monthly meeting reflecting on how the YouTube channel and the videos performed in the last month. And we also decide on upcoming topics and ideas for the videos. If you have any topic ideas that you would like us to discuss on this channel, then please leave a comment below this video. Then I will write down the script, mostly in bullet point form because I find it easier to read and then talk back into the camera. I don't use a teleprompter because I find that it looks like you're reading. So right now I am staring down the barrel of this camera, and I like to imagine that you're all staring back at me smiling, because this really helps me to feel like I'm talking directly to you into the camera. We usually come up with rough title ideas and thumbnail ideas before we've even filmed the video. I think it's really important to consider your titles and thumbnails before you film your video and even before you come up with the idea, because it doesn't matter if your video is the best video in the whole world. If your title and thumbnail aren't good, people won't click on it and they won't watch your video. So then it kind of doesn't really matter.
Hi, I'm Brendan. I'm Hayley's producer/editor here at Motion Hatch. I was based in Leeds, but now I'm based in Sheffield, running my own media production company called Be More Media, mainly doing photography and videography for businesses and things like that. I also dabble a little bit in web design, so I handle anything video or graphic related at Motion Hatch, including our new website, which might not actually be out yet, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about that one. But anyway, it's coming. It's going to be great. You didn't hear it from me.
Hi, I'm Christie. I'm an editor and a content creator here at Motion Hatch. You may recognise me from the Motion Hatch Instagram or maybe the TikTok. If you don't follow us there already, you should. The link will be below this video in the description. I currently live in Leeds. I run my own business called Meze Multimedia. We provide services like digital marketing, social media strategy, video editing, and also brand design as well. I teamed up with Brendan last year to help out on the Motion Hatch podcast, which then led to the Motion Hatch YouTube channel. So I'll talk you through the process of what I do to edit a Motion Hatch YouTube video. So first I download the files and start a project in PostLab. PostLab is a software that allows both me and Brendan to access the same project so that we can collaborate on it really easily. So we use Adobe Premiere Pro to edit all of our videos at Motion Hatch, as we use Mogurts or motion graphics templates.
These are basically mini After Effects projects that are in Premiere Pro that you can drag and drop, and you make them in After Effects, export them as a Mogurt, and it basically makes these really easily editable animations for the project. Huge shout out to Ivan Miguel for sorting all of those out for us. He also animated our intro, which you see at the start of every video. We love it. It's a really good example of a productized service. So, you know, like lower thirds, titles, like a YouTube brand pack for creators is a really good way that you could make a bit of extra money just tweaking ever so slightly a few things, basically.
So personally, my process when I edit is that I create an options timeline. I select all the best bits and color code them, select all of those and put them into a main timeline. But having an options timeline, if Hayley wants to change and swap in a different take, that's really easy for me to do because I can just pop back into that options timeline and grab a different one. I then edit the video, export it, compress it and upload it to frame.io. It's a super easy software to use where you can quickly receive feedback. So I send that over, Brendan and Hayley give me the feedback, I then send it back to Brendan for him to be able to do the audio editing.
Now, I'm from an audio background, hence editing the podcast. So while Hayley's feeding back, I open up the project, go in there and start mixing the audio, making sure that it sounds consistent with the other videos, and basically getting all the levels the same. Once we get the feedback from Hayley, either me or Christie will open up the project, make those changes, and then get it exported and uploaded to the YouTube channel. Then we need to create a thumbnail and some assets for social media. So I want to share with you guys our process for putting subtitles on those videos, because I think quite a few of you will be doing this type of work. We used to do it manually and took forever. We have a really good process now, so let me show you how we do that. So let's head over to our project, and this is an asset that we will be adding subtitles to for social media. Now, normally these are landscape or portrait. So what we make is these like PR text style files. These are essentially preset subtitles that we've made in the past that we've exported and saved, and all we do is just drag these in. What we need to do is click this transcribe sequence button in Premiere and hit transcribe. So what this does is transcribes our timeline for us. It really doesn't take that long, and usually it gets most things right as well. So all we need to do now is go in and make sure that the text is right. I can tell that this should be motion designers. And once it's right, we just literally click this button up here, CC, and in here we've got this drop down. Now this is our subtitle preset that we apply, double line, and we just click create captions. And what this does is gives us all of these captions. And it was that easy to add subtitles to a social media asset.
I'm Hannah. I run a company called Hannah McCreesh Marketing. It's me and my PR assistant Amy. And yeah, I've been freelancing now for 4 years. I don't know how that happened. It's crept up and I've been working with Motion Hatch for just over 2 years, so quite a long time now. So in terms of what I do for Motion Hatch, so I'm not super involved in the YouTube stuff. I do write the social posts for the YouTube videos every week, and I also write our newsletter that comes out every Thursday. But I actually have a really good tip for any motion designers who have a YouTube channel, so I'm going to share that with you now. My tip is, if you have a YouTube channel, maybe you share tutorials on motion design, maybe you share like the realities of freelancing and your freelance life. Whatever it is, every time that you release a video, make sure that you pre-write 2 or 3 social posts to go out at exactly the same time that your video launches, because the more people that you can get viewing your video as it launches, the more YouTube will push it out to a wider audience, because they know that people are interested and people are watching the video. I'm going to take you through the process that we follow when it comes to scheduling posts for social media to go out around the time that we release a new YouTube episode. I love Loomly, not least for the fact that it says Happy Tuesday, Hayley, but it has loads of time-saving tools that are really useful for marketers. And then I would define the base copy. So the base copy is just essentially the draft posts. So it gives you the option to customize it based on the social media platform later on in the process. But for now, we're just going to put the base post in there alongside the thumbnail. So this is the V3 thumbnail. I mean, I've had up to V7 before. Inevitably in creative teams, there ends up being a lot of revisions to different assets. I don't actually do the thumbnails. I'm not taking any responsibility for those, but it makes me laugh sometimes if we get like a portfolio V7. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's been a lot of thumbnails before this one. And this is where we get the option to customize it based on the platform. So Twitter, for example, you have a lot less characters to work with, so you can always choose to make the base post smaller. But for now, all I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to add hashtags to Twitter and LinkedIn, and then that's it. I would just schedule that post, and now that post is going to go out when the YouTube video goes out, and hopefully bring some of our audience who are on our social media platforms over onto the YouTube channel to watch the latest video.
So once all of that is done, we need to add the title and the description. We need to upload the thumbnail, and we also need to sort out the video tags and the keyword research. We use vidIQ for that, really cool tool. We need to sort out the end screen as well, and sometimes chapters and those cards that come up in the corner of the screens that Hayley always points in the wrong direction for. So then we schedule the video for release and hope that you guys say hello in the live chat, leave a comment below, stick a like on the video. All those things go a really long way to helping us grow our YouTube channel and help more people like yourselves. Between us, either me or Hayley keeps an eye on the channel through the week, replying to any of your questions, any of your comments. We really do try and respond to every single comment on our channel and essentially try and help you guys out as much as we can.
So Michaela wanted to know if I do any facial warm-ups or anything like that. I don't really do that. What I feel like my getting warmed up is probably when I'm thinking about filming, you know, I'm doing my hair and putting my makeup on and things like that. But I don't do any vocal warm-ups. Maybe I should.
What's it like working for Hayley? It's great working for Hayley. It really is good because, you know, she teaches people how to be freelance. So for us as freelancers working with her, we get tons of advice and all that kind of stuff. It's really great to have on hand.
So in terms of how we get paid at the moment, most of our revenue is currently coming from our courses, so from our Client Quest course and from Balanced Business Bootcamp, which is our new program. So we just monetized our channel this year, which is really exciting. It felt like a big milestone. We don't actually get much money from the ad revenue. I think it's around £60 per month or something like that. But as a starting point, I felt like that was pretty good. And it's always nice, just means that I can pay the editors a little bit extra and things like that.
How do we get paid? So we all get paid differently at Motion Hatch. So we're all freelance. So we all invoice Hayley for our work. And I try and dedicate as much time as I can to Motion Hatch, basically.
What is the future of Motion Hatch? And yeah, I think that we are really excited about our new course, Balanced Business Bootcamp, and all the students that are getting some great successes in there already, even though it's just in beta and it's only been around for the last 3 months. So that is really exciting. And also hopefully bringing the podcast back and still providing weekly videos on YouTube for you all here. I would love to get some more collaborators on the channel. So if anyone is interested in making a video for us, please do reach out. Thank you so much to everybody who watches this channel. We've had thousands and thousands of views, and we've also got over 6,000 subscribers. So I want to thank every single one of you. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe. It helps us to put out a video every single week. And thank you so much to the team as well. I couldn't put these videos out without our team. They work really hard every week to put these videos out. So if you want to, please thank them as well in the comments. And if you want to dive deeper with Motion Hatch and you want to take one of our programs, we have a course called Client Quest, which helps you to get regular high-paying clients. This course is great if you're looking to go freelance or you're just starting out as a freelancer. And we also have our course Balanced Business Bootcamp. So this is a brand new course where you get to work directly with me. I'll coach you for a whole year, and you also get to be in our Balanced Business Bootcamp community, and you get access to our Sustainable Systems Foundations course, which will help you to scale your business sustainably so that you can work on projects that you love, make more money, but also do things that you care about, like spending time with your family. So if you would like to access any of those courses, you can find out which is the best fit for you by taking our quiz. The link will be below this video in the description. And I'll see you next week for more tips and advice around how to start and grow your motion design business.